Hi everybody, I'm Jamie Buter. I wanted to take this time to answer some questions about where I came up with the A432 chakra tones. First of all, any of the documents that I come across, you see them that I hold up in these videos that I've been doing, they're all available online. You can go to spiritualresults.com, and then in the upper right-hand corner you'll see 432 docs. Click on that tab, and it'll take you to a whole list of documents, including this one and all the other ones that I've been showing in my videos. You can see them all there, even the Spiritual Results music study, which shows the efficacy of how my 432 chakra tones have healed the body, reduced inflammation in the body, and reduced emotional stress in the frontal lobes. It's a study conducted by 3 doctors at the Center for Biofield Sciences. That's there as well. So anyway, let's address the questions. The questions basically posed to the 432 group is, where did I come up with the frequencies for these chakra bowls? Or actually, you'll see here I got the frequencies in the middle, the chakra or the right, crown, third eye, throat, etc. And this is the equivalent note. Now, those notes are all based on the A432 tuning system. Primarily, where I got the chakra sounds from was from this CD here, Ben Scott and Krista Mitchell. Here are the tones in the back, all the tracks. These bowls, from what my understanding, these are handmade by Tibetan monks. And of course, these guys, they don't know anything about hertz. Probably didn't way back then. So if you have watched all the other of my videos about the 432 and the most harmonic numbers, based Pythagorean tuning, so forth. You guys have seen this. All these documents are available online. Spiritualresults.com, 432 docs. You can check them out for yourself. But all my contention is that that musical tuning should be in the A432 and not the A440. Okay, which is the current standard right now. Been a lot of things that I've uncovered. Amazonian shamans deep in the Amazon, their voices, their healing voices that they sing, is tuned in the 432. The Tibetan chakra bowls, okay, that I came across is tuned to the 432, and I'm going to show you how these tones here are actually on this. And I captured them with my tuner. But there's also some contention. The question is like, well, most of the chakra stuff out there is all based on the solfeggio scale, which is like C, D, E, F, G, A, B, Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti. The C starts at the root. This is I'm saying that these are wrong. That they're saying that the C starts at the root chakra and it goes C, D, E, F, G, A, B, on up. Okay, that's incorrect. According to my research and according to all the things that I've been doing here in this lab, that is incorrect. It's just an arbitrary standard. Is the diagrams? If you look at them on the internet, they're all pretty much copy and paste, same things. Okay, I'm saying that they're wrong, and I'm going to explain why I feel that they're wrong, and I'm going to explain why I feel that the A432 chakra tones here, these frequencies and these notes in the A432 scale, are the correct ones. First of all, what I've done was I've taken my tuner and I've played the chakra sounds, and when I tune this or calibrate this to the A432 scale, it gives me precise semi-precise, close enough frequencies. Now, somebody says, well, that precise or close enough isn't good enough. Well, I've had a guy named Beaumont Miles do a frequency study on the Ben Scott and Krista Mitchell CD, just like I've done, but he used a frequency counter, which is on here right now. This is his. You can go to YouTube, frequency test. His user ID is Auric Field, and you can watch his results of what he's come up with. And he started with the crown chakra, and he worked his way down. So let me just go through the first 5 chakras, because he has come to the conclusion that they're close, but they're off a little bit. So let me give you his results in the first 5, and then we will do a live test with my tuner to see what it looks like, and then I'll go into an explanation from there, because the explanation of why I have these is more important. But let's just do the empirical test first, and then I'll give you an explanation after that. Okay, so is my contention that the crown chakra should be 864 hertz, okay, which is the octave above 432, okay, which is in the note of A. The crown chakra should be 864 hertz. Beaumont measured it to be 860 hertz, which is a difference of 4 hertz. Okay, not really that big of a deal in the whole scheme of things. But I'll get to this in a minute. The third eye should be 576 hertz, according to my chakra tones, and he's calculated, or he measured that it's 578 hertz. Okay, it's a difference of 2 hertz. The throat chakra should be 384, according to my chakras on here. He's calculated them or measured them to be 282 hertz, which is a difference of 2 hertz. The heart chakra, I'm saying it should be 256 hertz or 512. You know, you just double or halve any of these numbers to get an octave above, octave below. They're the same frequency, or they're the same note in the scale, just different frequencies. I'm saying that it should be 256 hertz, and Beaumont measured it to be 260 hertz for a difference of 4 hertz. And now here's where it starts to get interesting. All right, the upper chakra is pretty much right in line, difference of 2 to 4 hertz, you know, give or take. Now we're at the solar plexus chakra. All right, now here's where everything starts to get off quite a bit as you go down further. I'm saying that the solar plexus chakra should be the 364 hertz, and Beaumont measured it to be 355, 356, for a difference of 8 or 9 hertz, considerable difference. Actually, 8 hertz is the difference between 440 hertz concert tuning and the 432. So yes, 8 hertz is a considerable difference. 32 cents, huge difference. According to my tuner here, let's see, the acceptable cents difference is 20, plus or minus 20 cents would be acceptable tuning. The ear wouldn't be able to hear that much, plus or minus 20 cents, so that's where the tuner comes in. But 8 hertz is roughly 32 cents. It's a considerable difference, so it does make a cause for concern. I agree with him. The sacral chakra, I say should be, on my chart I say it's 303, but you keep dividing that in half to get it lower, and it comes to either 75.75 hertz or 151.5 hertz. Either one, they're all octaves of one another. But Beaumont measured it to be 101 hertz. Okay, but way off, huge difference. 151 is close, it's off by 51 hertz. Of course, 75.75 hertz is off by 25 hertz. Okay, it's a huge difference. The root chakra. The root chakra should be, well, I got on my paper 228 hertz, 456 hertz. But if you keep dividing that down, it could be 57 hertz or 114 hertz. Those are all octaves. Okay, and Beaumont measured it to be 78 hertz. All right, so if we take the 57 hertz, which I say the root chakra should be, and his measurement of 78 hertz, that's a difference of 21 hertz, completely unacceptable, completely huge difference. So one of the things that I was looking at in this chart, just right off the bat, where he has the root chakra measured at 78 hertz, I have the sacral chakra measured, or I'm claiming to be at 75.75 hertz. That's actually a difference of roughly 2 hertz. So it could be that the sacral and the root, the frequencies, I might have those reversed. If we do that, we make this his measurement of the sacral chakra at 101 hertz, and mine would be, if they are reversed, would be 114 hertz. That's still a huge difference. That's still 13 hertz difference. All right, so I'm not willing to say that I might have them reversed, but it could be possible. There's also another explanation that I would like to go into once I do this demonstration of why this may be. So let's do. I have paused Beaumont Miles here, and he's getting ready to do the sacral frequencies, which is the most, which is the one, the sacral and the root are the ones that are off the most. Okay, the other ones are off 2 to 4 hertz. Of course, and we got the solar plexus. It's off 8 hertz. I'm gonna get to that in a minute because I have a very good reason for the very good justification for why I have the solar plexus being at 182, 364, or 728, or actually 729 it should be. So let's listen to him. He's starting off with the sacral. All right, I've got my tuner here to the 432. Let me zoom in here, and I'm hoping that this will be able to be seen by you guys. All right, so we can watch the tuner here. Hopefully you can see that it's the 432 tuning. All right, on the calibration buttons here. All right, let's see. All right, calibration buttons, you tune this up or down. So now I got it at the 432. So we're measuring tones within the 432 hertz scale. And let's listen to Beaumont.
Alright, this is a deeper sound. It's the sacral chakra bowl. I'll put the mic down to the subwoofer.
See how it says E? Right on the money, E flat.
Okay, that's giving me 100, 101 hertz.
Okay, right on the money with an E flat. Now let's go
Not
on
even
to
there,
the next
but
one.
He didn't even put that there. He put 303, 606, or 1212. Let's record the highest frequencies. Coming up as 101 hertz for the sacral chakra.
There was a difference in here. Let's turn this back a little bit.
There he put 303, 606, or 1212. Let's record the highest frequencies.
E flat, right on the money.
Coming up as 101 hertz for the sacral chakra.
So the E flat
Maybe my test is right.
is 303, 606, 1212.
Base chakra bowl.
Here's the root. Here's the root coming up.
It's a very deep sound.
It's registering a B flat in the A432 scale, slightly sharp. Right on the borderline of being accepted. Looks like it fluctuates anywhere
Okay,
from
it's giving
17
me
to 20 hertz.
77, 78 hertz.
Okay, so now we can see that that according to my tuner, the note of the B flat and the E flat, okay, it's pretty much right on the money. The E flat or the B flat down here at the bottom, the E flat was right on the money as you saw the tuner. The B flat was sharp just a tad. It fluctuated anywhere between it looked like 16, 17 hertz to 20 hertz, or the 20 cents, 16 to 17 cents to 20 cents off, somewhere in there. But it was still within the acceptable range of music. If you were to tune my guitar, if I was off if I was off that little bit, it would be difficult to proceed with the ear. Now let me go through where I came up with these, and let me give you an explanation of why I believe that these are correct, instead of the C being the heart chakra. So let's just start there at the C. The reason why I believe that the C, not just because of the tuner and the Tibetan chakra bowls, but because if you look on the most harmonic numbers, okay, in this column here, this is 1, and it's doubled. It's 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, so forth, and eventually you get down here to 256, 512, which are the frequencies that I'm saying is the heart chakra. Okay, the reason why I agree with this is because every fetus, every embryo before that is, when it is fertilized, how it grows. The cell division does exactly as the C. It starts off as a single cell, and it divides, becomes 2. Then those 2 then become 4. Then those 4 then become 8. Okay, it is the frequency of cell division. It is the frequency of the growth of life. So therefore, the 256, 512 heart chakra frequency makes sense to me because it follows the biological cell division, the biology of growth perfectly. Okay, so that is one of the reasons why. I mean, it is the heart of everything. That frequency 246 or 248, 16 is the heart of cellular growth. Therefore, it has to be, to me, the heart chakra frequency. Okay, the 512. It has to be. So that's why I came up with that. Let's go to the crown chakra. Now it makes sense that the crown chakra would be the 432, because if we look at the Buddha statues at Mount Meru, there were 432 Buddha statues at Mount Meru. There's all kinds of other contentions. Pythagoras once said that man is 2 octaves below God. Okay, so if we look at that, and we say, okay, well, the 432 would be the mediator, right? The crown chakra is essentially our way of our connection to the higher realms of the universe, to the higher dimensions. And if we look at the work of Vernon Jenkins took the creation geometries in Genesis, and he took the 666, which in the Bible says it's the number of the beast, or it's the number of man. Okay. Well, I agree that the beast and man are the same. I mean, look who's killing each other. You don't see somebody coming down, from heaven in the name of Satan, killing each other. It is us killing each other. Okay? To me, the beast is man. And when you take 666 and you multiply 6 times 6 times 6, you get 216, which is 1 octave below the 432. if you look at the work of Vernon Jenkins, and if you look at the Cosmic 432 video that's up on YouTube, you'll see how he's taken the Hebrew letters and reduced them, or taken their numerical value and created geometries that fit perfectly within a 216 outline triangle. We all know how important the triangle is. I mean, just look at the Great Pyramids of Egypt, which is a series of faceted triangles, or faces of triangles. So if we look at, go back to Pythagoras' quote, and we say, and he says that man is 2 octaves below God. Okay, well, if man is the 216, the beast, right, the lower ego, the lower consciousness, all right, and if we look at another octave up, which is the 432, and the 432 Buddha statues, that would represent enlightened consciousness, okay, which would be our crown chakra, our connection to the higher realms. All right, then one more above that, one more octave above the 432 is the 864. And if you look in the Bible and you look at the numerical value of the word for God, in the beginning, in Genesis, it says, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. Well, the actual translation of that is not God, because the numerical value is 86 and not 864. Therefore, the proper translation is Elohim. In the beginning, the Elohim created the heaven and the earth. See, the Elohim is the worker of God. The numerical value of this word is actually 86. It's missing the 4. Okay, so there is quite a bit of evidence. The 216, the 432, and the 864, they all make sense. So when you look at the crown chakra, okay, even though that he measured it to be, what was it, how many cents off? 4 hertz off. I'm sticking to the fact that it should be the 432. Let's look at the third eye, for example. Let's go into that one. The third eye, I say, is 144 hertz among the rest of the octaves, 288, 576. But if we look in the Bible says that 144,000 people will enter into the kingdom of heaven. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't believe that there's a finite number of people who are going to enter the kingdom of heaven. I think what they're saying is, and it's hidden in code, it's worded in a code, that if we look at the 144 hertz and the third eye, it makes sense to me that the people who are going to enter into the kingdom of heaven are going to be the ones who have their third eye open. Because Jesus says the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Okay, he doesn't mean in a time frame. He doesn't mean it could be next week or next month or 2,000 years from now. What he means when Jesus says the kingdom of heaven is at hand, he is referring to it is right within your grasp right now. And the only reason why you're not experiencing the kingdom of heaven is because there's an imbalance. You're not able to see it. When you get your chakras in balance and your third eye becomes open, the kingdom of heaven will be before you. Okay? That's my opinion. Okay? This obviously isn't fact, but if you look at the chakra meditation bowls by Ben Scott and Krista Mitchell, the third eye frequency is only off by 2 hertz as measured by Beaumont. Okay? I'm gonna explain a little bit more about why I think these frequencies are the correct ones in just a minute. Let me just touch on some more things. Okay, I haven't really discovered anything about the throat chakra that I can relate to as far as the crown and the third eye. But let's look at the solar plexus. Now, the solar plexus comes from solar, comes from the word sun. If we look at the most harmonic frequencies, okay, in this chart here, and you'll see that the speed of light down here, or what I'm saying is the speed of light, which is actually close. The actual speed of light is 186,282, I believe. All right. If you look at 432 and you square it, you get 186,624. Now, I'm not saying that this is the speed of light in miles per second, because light doesn't travel in a straight line. You know, straight lines are man-made. Okay, light curves. If you look at the work of John Stuart Reed and his cymatics in the 432, you'll see that the blue, he calls it the tryon ray. You see how it's curved. It's actually the smallest platonic solid, and this platonic solid then tessellates to create all the rest of the platonic solids. Okay, light doesn't travel in a straight line. It travels in a curvature. So what I'm saying is that the 186,624 is actually 186,000 nautical miles per second, which is based on an arc tangent, an arc measurement. Okay, it's a curvature. Okay, so when you take the 432 and you square it, you get 186,624, which is, I'm saying, it should be 186,624 nautical miles per second. And if you look at the chart here, that comes to an F sharp. Okay, this was in the F sharp. You go all the way up, you'll see 729. In my chakra frequencies here, I actually have 728, but it's wrong. It should be 729, but the F sharp is correct. Okay, which is the speed of light, which is the sun. The light comes from the sun. The solar plexus chakra, I'm saying, is the F sharp, which is 729 hertz. Now, he's off. His measurement is off by 8 hertz. Okay. It may be a good reason for that. There may not be a good reason for that. I'm going to get to what that might be in just a second. So now we have to look at the sacral and the root chakras. Now, as you saw on the meter, it was pretty much right on the money. The E flat for the sacral chakra was right on the money, pegged perfectly on the A432 tuning. And if you go to the root chakra, the B flat was off a little bit. It was just a tad. Now, I've tested these, the sacral and the root chakra on many people, and I've had tremendous results. If you go to my channel and you look at David Sarita's testimony, he had a splinter, a 2-inch splinter went through his foot many years ago, 3 or 4 years ago now. He was skiing on the hardwood floors with his socks, and a splinter went through his foot. And every 6 or 7 months or so, anywhere from 3 to 6 months, I think is what he said, that his foot would swell, become purple, and it would pus, and he would be out of commission for a week. Couldn't hike, couldn't do anything. He would have to just wait until the swelling went down, and his doctors basically said, you're going to need to get surgery on this thing. There's something in there that the body's trying to get out. So he came to me, and we got him on my VESH device. VESH stands for Vortex and Electromagnetic Sound Healing. And because the root chakra, anywhere from the waist down, all the legs, the base, the foundation, it pertains to the root chakra frequencies. I used the root chakra frequencies on his foot about 20 minutes. He definitely felt something going on. If you watch the testimony, you'll see what he had to say. And then we put the heart chakra frequency on him, the 512, the 256, and we drew out the trauma, the grief. You see, one of his New Year's resolution. This happened on New Year's Day. One of his New Year's resolution was to get back into skiing again. And now this splinter went through his foot. He suffered a severe trauma. We pulled that trauma out, not only, first of all, with using the root chakra frequency that pertains to the base. We pulled that out, but we also pulled the trauma out that he experienced psychologically with, oh no, now I'm not going to be able to ski. I'm going to miss a whole other ski season. So that trauma that he suffered continued to bring up the pussy and the swelling and the purpliness of his foot every 3 to 6 months or so. Ever since we've done that, we pulled the trauma out, we pulled the energy of the trauma out, and we worked on the foot with the crown chakra, the root chakra frequency, and we pulled the trauma out with the heart chakra frequency. It has been almost 2 years, and David hasn't had an episode since, and he was supposed to have surgery, and it's gone. So this is another reason why I feel that the root chakra frequency that I have here is the correct one, why the heart chakra is the correct one. I also have another experience with the guy with the sacral chakra along his lower back. He's been having severe pain for years. He had to get Rolfing done, which is a very deep therapeutic type of a massage, and he was always because of the injury, his body was always off. He was always trying to compensate, which was causing other problems. When I put the sacral chakra sound on his lower back, it completely melted away, and he was in tears. The relief that he felt, he was just in absolute tears. The guy's an architect; he's pretty much a scientist, so I wasn't able to really get anything because he doesn't really believe in this sort of thing, right? So you can see it's tough. It's tough to try to get people who don't believe, even though they experience things, to come forward and say, "Hey, this is phenomenal stuff." But anyway, so let's go back to why I think that these are the frequencies that they should be, okay, and not the ones that were measured by Beaumont or even my tuner. So let's say that Pythagoras was trying to understand creation through music, and if music is creation, or if creation is a symphony of music, is a symphony of harmonic sound, all right, then they would all have to be tuned together. All right, they would all have to be playing the same frequencies. I mean, wouldn't they not? If your body is an orchestra, to say that, well, maybe one chakra is tuned to one frequency and then the other chakras appear tuned to another tuning scale is ludicrous to me, because it would be like saying, well, we've got this orchestra here. We got the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra, for example, and what we're going to do is we're going to tune the string instruments, the whole entire string section. We're going to tune that to the A432 tuning. And then we're going to take the brass and the woodwind section, and we're going to tune these guys all to the A440. And then we're going to play the same song. It should be beautiful, right? No, it wouldn't. It would be terrible. It'd be terrible. You have to have, the entire symphony has to be playing in the same tune. Okay? That's the same way with your body. All of your chakras have to be in the same tuning scale. They have to be in the same frequency range. They have to be harmonically and mathematically in the same scale. All right. So when you look at these, I got, the upper chakras are almost dead on the money. Okay. But here's the thing with creating the bowls. Now, if these Tibetan monks were creating these bowls using their feeling, their hearing of what these bowls should be tuned to, okay, there has been a lot of evidence, documented stuff that I've read. I'm not going to point it out. I'm not going to give you links. You're just going to have to go do your own research on it. But if anybody has done any kind of spiritual work, they know that when you seclude yourself like a monk, or you segregate yourself away from society and you meditate, you do chants, you're focusing on the throat. When you visualize, you're focusing all these things. So it's well known that when monks and other meditators, they go off, they end up developing their upper chakras a lot better than they neglect the lower chakras. They don't get as developed as the other ones. I mean, monks in monasteries, they're not having sex. They don't have the fight or flight the thing to deal with. They don't have a lot of these things. So the lower chakras, the root, the sacral, and the solar plexus, they pretty much get neglected and not developed. They develop the higher ones. So to me, it makes sense that the upper chakras are closer. They're only 2 to 4 hertz off. It makes sense that if these Tibetan monks are building these chakra bowls to what they feel, the upper chakras are a lot closer than the lower ones. Makes sense to me because they haven't been developing the lower chakras. So but you see on the tuner, it's pretty close. Some of them are off. Some of them are off a little bit. But I just needed to get close on the tuner. Then I can apply that to the math. See, because the math and the resonant frequencies, okay, they all have to be in the same scale. Long as I can get close, I can then say, okay, well, then it has to be this frequency. According to the math and according to the harmonics of music, this is what frequency it has to be in. So that is why I've come to the conclusion on a lot of these, or on all these chakra frequencies. And I'm sticking to it. Even though I haven't interviewed these Tibetan monks, I don't even know if they even know what a hertz is or a cycle per second. They probably have no idea. They just tune them on their feelings. So it would be nonsense to interview the monks to see, why they built these bowls the way they did. So I just wanted to explain from my truth of why I publish these tones, the efficacy of these tones that I've seen in my lab. I've seen tremendous healing because of these tones. My chakra tones and the spiritual results music study, this shows reduced inflammation in the body and reduced emotional stress in the frontal lobes, and it works out mathematically. And there's the crown chakra. I've already discussed why I feel the heart chakra, so forth. Why that makes sense for these frequencies to be what they are. So anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I hope this at least sums up why I have published these frequencies in the notes that I have and where they came from. Oh, one second before we go, I just want one more thing I wanted to go out on a limb on. If you look at this, the most harmonic numbers, and like I said, this is on my website, spiritualresults.com. Upper right-hand corner, click on 432 docs, and you'll see this up here is called the most harmonic numbers frequencies. I was explaining just earlier about how I said the 432 squared is 186,624, which I'm claiming to be 186,624 nautical miles per second, not statute miles per second. All right, but there's also something else I wanted to bring up while we're on this topic. If you look here at the in the center column, or in the G column, okay, all these are octaves of G. You'll see that there's a 6144 there. Okay, now modern science has said that there are 6,076 feet in a nautical mile. All right, now what I'm going to say is that I'm saying that there are actually 6144 nautical feet in a nautical mile. This may not make sense. This is probably just arbitrary, right? But one of the things that, right, it could be a coincidence, right? But I'm coming to the conclusion that there's just far too many coincidences going on here with these numbers, with Pythagorean tuning, that I just can't ignore. So if we look at the 6144 and on this grid, right, and how it's separated by the speed of light, 186,624 nautical miles, 6144 nautical feet. If you find the distance on this grid from each other, right, you'd have to go up 3, 1, 2, 3, and then go over 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That 3 to 5 ratio is a Fibonacci ratio. Okay, so I don't know if that's a coincidence or not, but I just wanted to point it out. Like I said, I'm not a scientist. I'm a reverend, so I can say what I want, right? And let you guys just let the mathematicians and the scientists figure it out. But it's just something that I wanted to come up with, or that I saw. I wanted to point out because the arbitrary number of the 6,076 feet nautical or feet in a nautical mile by science is just an estimate. It's just a guess, and it's really all based on the curvature and the size of the planet. And that's where the nautical mile comes in too. It's just a distance it's an arc length along any meridian is a nautical mile. Okay, so it's based on the Earth. There was one thing I do want to give Leonard Horowitz some credit for, and what I've found here is that how he talks about the 528. There are if you look just above here in the F sharp, which is the speed of light column here, you'll see 5832 hertz. Okay, it's got the 5, 2, and the 8 in it. If you look at there's 1852 meters in a nautical mile, which contains the 8, 5, 2, and the 8. Also, there are 5,280 feet in a statute mile, okay, which has the 5, 2, and the 8. Yes, the 5, 2, and the 8, the 2, 8, and the 5 is very important. It's a family number group, but it's not a frequency. You don't jam them together and get a frequency of 528 hertz, and it's definitely not the heart chakra frequency. At least, from what I've been able to find out, at least from my research. It's actually the A432 scale is the scale of biology. It is the scale of the cosmos. It is the scale of living organisms and the planet. I mean, even whales have been recorded and found to be singing in the A432 scale. There's just too many coincidences. So anyway, I just wanted to point that out. Whether this is accurate or not, whether the speed of light, 186,624 nautical miles per second, is what the speed of light should be. I'm saying that that right now in this time period, the speed of light might be slower because we're dense. This is a dense world we're living in. I mean, look at all the wars and the pollution and the pharmaceutical drugs that we're being fed and the mind control and the fear and everything else. It's dense. Light is going to travel slower in a denser medium. Whether or not the 6144 nautical feet in a nautical mile is correct. Whether it's a G. The way I look at this thing is that Pythagoras tried to understand creation through music. He decided that all of the creation could be explained using musical principles. So if we look at these most harmonic numbers, if we look at the Pythagorean tuning and his intervals and how all this works with Marco Rodin's group, family number groups, and his vortex-based mathematics, and we all know that everything moves in a vortex. I mean, a tornado actually has two vortexes in it. There's an outer vortex that spins. Right? It's the expanding vortex. There's also an inner counter-rotating vortex that spins the opposite of the outer one, and it's the constricting vortex. Okay, you have to have both of those in order for a tornado to form. They just now realized, scientists just now realized that there are two vortexes counter-rotating in a tornado. The same thing for a hurricane. Planes have noticed, okay, well, we all know the hurricane pattern it spins, just like a galaxy does. And planes that go in to take wind measurements, they found that there is actually a counter-rotating spin of air that goes opposite the hurricane. And even cosmologists and astrophysicists have realized that there is actually a counter-rotating accretion disk around galaxies. Okay, so everything has this spin and counter-rotates. So Marco's math, it seems to fit everything. It seems to fit what scientists are viewing in the field, and it also fits musically and mathematically with these. So I just want to throw that out there, whether it's right or wrong, whatever. I'm just trying to discover the truth, trying to find out some things, trying to get people to think. And I really appreciate questioning me, finding out where did I come up with these things. It's a good debate, as long as we can do it healthy and not sort of attacking and pointing fingers. And I've been guilty of that too. And I want to apologize right now for any negative energies that I've put forward in my attacks and accusations of other people. I apologize sincerely for that. So anyway, let's all have a great day, and let's keep moving forward. Thank you very much for watching.